Chelsea, I recently heard something from Matthew. He told me that you have an ongoing fever and flu-like symptoms. Are you feeling okay? Is something wrong?
Hi, Betty. Thank you for checking in on me. I hate to make you worry over me, but thank you.
Don't worry about it. It's a mother-in-law's job to worry about her family. Aside from that, are you feeling okay? Have you already went and visited a hospital?
Yeah, I'm not really feeling the best right now, but it's nothing major. I don't even have a fever. Although recently I feel like I've been getting sick more often than not. But I'm taking it light, so I stay in the house or go out for errands, but I haven't made it to the hospital yet.
That's not good at all. You're making my dear son worry, so you should make sure to go as soon as possible. Going by yourself might be a hassle, so if you want, I'm more than happy to chaperone you to the hospital.
Really, it's okay. You don't need to go that far out of your way just to take me to the hospital. Besides, today I have work after lunch, so it may be hard to get a visit in. And tomorrow, since I have the day off, if it seems to come back and I feel sick again, I will go by myself and get it checked out.
Are you sure you don't need someone to go there with you? I promise, taking you won't make my day any harder.
As I mentioned earlier, I'm not as sick as Matthew's making me out to be, so I'll be okay, but thank you. Not just that, but if you were to come over and help me out, only to get sick from me, I would feel horrible. So I think it would be best if I went by myself.
Are you sure? If so, I suppose it's fine if you go alone. Chelsea, just remember that you are married now, so make sure to take care of yourself. It might be easy to fall back into the routines you had before, but try not to do that, okay? Also, if you're feeling better, I'm sure everyone in the family will just be happy that you're healthy.
Yes, you're probably right. I didn't always take care of myself as well as I should have before, so I understand what you're trying to say. I hate making you guys worry about me, so I'm going to do my best to make sure this illness is gone as soon as possible.
Exactly. Good idea. And speaking of Matthew, he still is pretty childish in how he acts, right? Because of that, it's your job to make sure he doesn't worry about you as much. Not just that, but since I am your mother-in-law, I will do anything in my power if you ever need to rely on me.
I am truly thankful for all your help. Without someone like you, it would be much more difficult for me. It's really reassuring knowing that you're here to help me.
I've been able to take care of both Matthew and his father for over 20 years now. If I couldn't also help you, well, that would put me in a bit of an embarrassing spot. Therefore, if you are ever in a tough spot or just need someone to talk to, feel free to reach out.
Thank you. I'm not entirely sure as to when it might happen, but I'll become a mother too at some point. And when that time comes, I'd like you to teach me more about how to juggle everything and take care of the family.
Chelsea, just so you know, you don't have to worry about having a kid. I mean, right now, you and Matthew seem so happy, and plenty of couples are choosing not to have kids either. I'm not one of those mothers who wants to pressure my children for a grandchild either, so I think there's no rush to try and have one right away.
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Ever since I was young, I wanted to be a mother, so it wouldn't be because I feel pressured to. There's nothing wrong with us having a child sooner rather than later, is there?
No, of course not. Well, it's just that Matthew doesn't like children at all, so that's why I said we don't want to pressure you. Not only that, but surely you're busy with both the housework and a part-time job to keep you occupied? So I assume you want at least some free time to yourself, right?
I wasn't thinking I want a child immediately. However, if I am being honest, I wouldn't be too upset if I was to have a child soon. And sure, Matthew does do some childish things, but he's a very kind person, so I know it would be okay. You said he doesn't like children, but if we were to have one of our own, I'm sure he'd find them adorable. Also, Matthew himself said that someday he would want a child.
Oh, this is the first I'm hearing about that. Ultimately, whether or not you two have a child is something up to you guys. Sorry for talking your ear off like this. I just wanted to check in and see how you're doing. And soon I need to go get groceries, so let's leave the conversation here.
Thank you for everything. I could not have asked for a better mother-in-law. I learned a lot, and I appreciate your willingness to help me out.
Don't worry about it. Just know that I'm always here to help.
Chelsea, how are you feeling?
I'm okay, I promise. You don't have to ask me every day. Besides, didn't you say we'd spend time with each other after work today? You worry too much, especially when it comes to me.
Well, of course I do. It's only natural for me to worry if my wife is sick. So, did you finally get a chance to go to the hospital today?
Yes, I went.
And how did it go? Is it just a cold like we thought?
Actually, it's different than that. The doctor said it was not a cold. If we can, I'd like to wait and tell you about it when you get home from work. But I don't know if I can hold it in.
Oh, come on. I'm gonna be worried all day if you don't tell me now.
All right, you talked me into it. I think telling you here will do just fine as well. Matthew, are you ready for me to tell you? Are you mentally prepared?
Mentally prepared? Why should I be? Is something serious going on? Surely it can't be that bad where you need me to be prepared.
Actually, I just found out I'm pregnant. Can you believe it? We're gonna be parents.
Wait, you're pregnant? So that means it's our child, right? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Of course it is, silly. I don't know who else's it would be. I'm not sure if it'll be a boy or a girl yet, but the doctor said that it seems healthy so far. Isn't this amazing? I didn't think it would happen so soon.
Today is an April Fool's Day, right? My calendar might be wrong here.
No, it's not April's Fools. I'm pregnant with our child. From here on out, we are a family of 3 now. There are going to be plenty of little issues in our way, and times are going to get tough, but I know that we will all be just fine as long as we try our hardest together.
There's no way you're pregnant. Wait, is this why you've been feeling a little under the weather lately?
Yes, that's right.
I can't believe myself. All my worrying was down for nothing when it came down to it. When you told me that you were feeling sick, I worried and fretted about it for far too long, and this is what came as a result? I can't even laugh after finding out it was just a pregnancy.
Huh? Is everything okay? You do know that this is our child that we're talking about. What do you mean, just a pregnancy? Aren't you excited? You seem bummed out about me being pregnant.
How is this something I could be excited for? You know how much I hate children. I would never want to have one. So why would you think I would ever be excited or relieved about this at all?
No, I just figured that if it was our kid, as in part yours and part mine, you'd be happy about it. Besides, I've always wanted to have a child. I've told you that so many times. I figured you'd at least be happy or even content with me being happy about this situation.
So is this thing something you've planned for then? I don't think children are ever necessary. In fact, I hate kids.
Wait, I don't understand what you're trying to say. What do you mean by thing?
Well, since I don't want a child, I'm just going to call it a thing so you can understand how much I don't want it. So what you could do is read the room here and figure out the next step on your own. Also, there is absolutely no way I will ever be a father. It's impossible. Just living with you is enough to keep me happy and content. So when you come out of nowhere and say that I'm going to be a father, of course I'm going to be put in a tight spot.
Wait, no. I'm not trying to make your life hard or anything. Besides, I just found out I'm pregnant and I have a living being inside of me. Why are you saying things like this? Can't you try and be a little happy?
I already told you I have no interest in having a kid, and I don't like kids at all. And if I did want one, which is a big if, I wouldn't want one now or anytime soon. For starters, why don't you look into getting an abortion for me?
Wait, did you really just say that? Even though I'm going through so much and have been trying as hard as I have for you, and now you're saying you just don't want a child? I don't understand your reasoning as to why I should get an abortion now.
No, surely you understand my reasoning perfectly fine now, right? If anything, I think the best thing is that you don't give birth.
I can't believe this. Even though this is your own child, you still don't want them around? How can you say such horrible things while being so calm? Do I not matter to you at all?
What are you even talking about? How can you even say something like that? You know full well that I love you, and you are the most important thing to me. But you should know our conversation about having a child is a different conversation than this one. Right now, living as a family of two and sharing my life with you gives me all the happiness I need. I also just don't want to be a father. And because of that, abortion should be the best thing for us, right?
But I want to be a mother. I want to have this baby. So, even if you do want to terminate the child's life, you should at least try to have a little bit of compassion and understanding for me. And because of all that, I can't agree with such a one-sided agreement that only benefits your wants.
The issue isn't that you want to be a mother. The issue is what I already talked about, which is that I hate kids and don't ever want any. This isn't something I really like talking about anyways. Besides, since I'm the one supporting your lifestyle, at times like this, my opinion should have priority over yours.
What are you saying? What do you mean that your opinion matters more? Because you make more money, that means that I have to do whatever you tell me? Even though I work as well and make money too? Is that not good enough for you?
Of course, you bring money home as well, and I do truly appreciate that. But this is about who makes more here. Do you think that with your part-time job you can afford to take care of our family if I didn't work? No? That's what I thought. So it's weird for you to not understand that in this case, my opinion is the one that matters most.
I cannot do this anymore. Talking with you has started to make my head hurt, and I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm gonna go stay with my parents for a while.
Huh? Why are you just up and leaving all of a sudden? I don't understand why you feel the need to leave. Don't you understand that it's best for the family for you to get rid of the child? How can I explain it more simply? I don't understand what your hang-up is here.
The issue isn't whether or not I understand what you're saying. Of course I understand. This child is my child and I want to keep it. Just because you don't want to be a father and you think it's better to just get rid of it, that doesn't mean that this is what I want to do.
How are you so angry at me here? I'm just talking about what's best for us. Could you at least wait for me to come home so we can talk about this face to face? If you leave all of a sudden, it's just going to be harder to figure things out later, and it's going to drag your parents into it. Please, just take it easy for now.
If anything, I find it odd you want me to calm down after saying stuff like that. Is me wanting this child really that abnormal to you? Now I just don't want to even see you anymore. I don't even want to see your face because of this.
I can understand how you think the way I said things was wrong, so I'll apologize. So for now, let's stop talking about you returning to your mom and dad's place, okay? Hey, Chelsea, do you not look at your messages or something? Chelsea?
I heard you and Matthew had a little fight and you've decided to stay with your parents for a while. Is that right? You two were so close, though. What happened? What in the world did you do to him?
I am sorry. I understand what Matthew was trying to say to me and the point he was trying to make. However, it seems like he didn't understand a single thing I wanted to tell him instead.
Did you say something horrible to my poor sweet Matthew? If you'd prefer, you can tell me what you guys talked about and I can be a good middle ground.
But asking you to do that is just too much. I might complain about Matthew a lot due to how he acted recently.
I told you if you ever feel like you're in a tight spot, you should reach out to me and tell me, right? We might not be related by blood, but you're still part of my family too. So, now is a perfect time to complain, and don't worry about holding anything back here.
Thank you very much. In all actuality, I found out I was pregnant. That's why I was feeling under the weather for so long.
Huh? Chelsea, you're pregnant?
Yes, I just found out today. I was super excited when I found out, so I told Matthew right away. But he got upset at me and thinks the best thing to do is to get rid of the child in general. It is our child, and I don't understand how he could say such a horrible thing to me.
Ah, I see. So that's why you and Matthew got in a fight then, huh?
When we talked the other day and you told me that he hates children, I understood what you were saying, but I guess I wasn't prepared. But is there really someone out there who could hate their own child like that? I truly cannot believe that, and I think people like that are the absolute worst of the worst.
Chelsea, it sounds like this is very tough for you. No matter how much you love your husband, if you're gonna spring something like that on them, of course they're gonna be shocked at the very least, and their reaction might not be what you want. Also, Matthew has made his position on children very clear to everyone that knows him. His reaction shouldn't be that much of a surprise, even if it's not what you wanted. But I also understand how you could get upset, and I find it understandable that you want to take some time apart to sort out your feelings.
Right? I'm glad you understand. As I said, no matter how much he may not want the child, what he said was too mean. Not just that, but if a big event were to happen in a couple's lives, they should work together through it and find a compromise. I think Matthew is too one-sided on his opinions. Even though I had my own opinion and wants, he refused to listen to them no matter what.
That kid can be very stubborn, and when he has an opinion of his own, sometimes he does refuse to listen to others, no matter what it is. My guess is that you saw a new side of him today, and now you're having a hard time dealing with it. I am glad you understand, and thank you for being with him through the tough stuff like this.
Wait, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I actually have decided that I do want to keep the child. I want to be like you, Betty. I want to be a mother and raise and protect this child. Even if it's hard for him to understand how I feel, I do not want to give up on him or my beliefs either.
I get what you're trying to say here, but Chelsea, don't you think at least this time you can give up? Or is that something you can't do?
Huh? What are you trying to tell me here, Betty? Did you not just say you understand how I feel and agree with my emotions here? But yet here you are telling me that I should give up?
Of course I understand how you feel, Chelsea. I really do get it. But Matthew said he didn't want a child. And I think that this is a better idea for you two. Besides, you don't want to always keep fighting with Matthew like you are now, do you?
But this is about a child here. I'm not just going to give up on my belief because it can fix this argument here. I want to have this child.
You say that, however, is it not Matthew who supports you financially at the end of the day? I don't think it's a good idea to be selfish in a situation like this, then.
So you think me having a living child in my stomach and wanting to see it grow and live is being selfish? Because I don't agree with you at all there. Not just that, but financially we are not in any worries at all, you know? So then why am I the one who has to give up here? We're well off. We can't afford this child.
But Matthew is a good husband and a nice person, right? But if you keep fighting over something like this, you two might end up getting divorced. And you'll end up regretting that then, don't you think? So, because of that, I think waiting to have a child for later in life would be a better idea. It may be really tough for you right now, but if you want to be a good and proper wife, don't you agree that this is the best course of action?
I understand what you're trying to say all too well. You know, Betty, you really are Matthew's mom, huh? No matter how much I said, you refuse to really listen to what I want even a little.
Chelsea, I do understand why you're upset. Trust me. But a short temper is a bad thing. He is taking care of everything financially for you. And if you only ever get emotional with him, you aren't helping out an awful lot. But if you look more for the long term and follow that line, you can become a perfect wife, like I am.
You may be right that at one point I wanted to be the exact kind of person you are. But that was a conversation for yesterday, not today. Now I don't want to be anything like you, as a wife, mother, or even as a person. You do understand that the child inside of my stomach is your grandbaby too, right? But you have the nerve to, and can so easily tell me to get rid of this child? I cannot understand it one bit.
I understand what you're telling me, but this is Matthew's wish, so there isn't anything you can really do about it, right? Is what I'm saying really all that cruel or mean? But this is for the sake of Matthew. So why don't we all go out and discuss this reasonably over a drink?
I can't drink. I'm pregnant. You know, I used to agree with you and thought that whatever made Matthew happy was the important thing to do. But now I see that what I wanted was never important in that aspect. This child inside of my body is still my child, and I will give birth to it no matter what anyone else says or does.
How is this something you can be so stubborn about? You do know that Matthew loves you very much, right? So, isn't the best thing for your family to just shut your eyes and not think of having a child?
As a wife, it might be the best thing to do, but I want to be a mother, and I consider it more important than just staying quiet about it. It's been my dream to be a mother, and as such, I feel it's my duty to protect my child. I am not going to sacrifice this child just to keep that man-child that I married happy. But mothers who spoil their children instead of disciplining them may never understand how I feel.
Chelsea, just give up and come home already, please. How long do you plan on staying there and pouting?
I'm not pouting about anything. I am just genuinely mad at you, that's all. That, and as long as you're living at that house, I have no intent on coming back.
If you ask me, that sounds like nothing more than just pouting. Honestly, what is even so good about children anyway? I don't understand where all your stubbornness is coming from at all.
This child is my child, and I am this child's mother. There's nothing else to understand about it. After that's all said and done, I know for a fact you should be able to tell where their stubbornness is coming from then.
Even so, it doesn't excuse all the horrible, mean things you said to my mom, does it? Listen, I'll apologize to my mother with you, so just hurry up and come home already.
How did I upset your mom at all? All I did is say what I believe to be true, so she has no reason to be upset. There's no way I'm gonna apologize, since I did nothing wrong. Everything I said was true and not wrong in the slightest. You can try all you want, but you won't be able to persuade me, so don't waste either of our time. No one is going to stop me. This is my child after all, and I will give birth to them.
All right, I get it. If you're gonna go as far as you have, go ahead and do whatever you want then. But don't expect me to be shouldering any of the burden just because I'm the father. Every bit of the parenting is now on your shoulders. I am not dealing with any of it. I'll provide whatever money is necessary, but my job as the father starts and ends there. Do you understand? Everything from here on out is for you and you alone to deal with.
Wait, what are you saying to me right now?
Isn't it obvious? This is the compromise you've been looking for the entire time, so go ahead and give birth. Since you won't listen to me or what I have to say, this is what I will agree with you on, since you want the kid so bad.
That's not what I'm asking about at all. You're calling yourself a father all of a sudden?
Well, if you're gonna have the kid, that would make me the father, wouldn't it? You're not gonna tell me you were cheating on me or anything, are you?
No, of course not. But you think you can call yourself the father of my child just because you share some DNA?
Yeah, that's just how it works. Like it or not, and just so we're absolutely clear, I don't like it. I am the father.
You're unbelievable. You told me to terminate the pregnancy. There's no way you can call yourself a father after saying something like that.
You know, I really wish you were right. That's not how it works. If I'm the one who got you pregnant, that unfortunately makes me the father. I don't know how we ended up on opposite sides here.
You're just talking about biology. But since I plan on raising the child all by myself, I have no need for a father, especially a deadbeat like you. Not only that, but if anyone were to ever have another kid with you and you were to raise it, I'd feel horrible for that child. Also, as our child doesn't need a father like you, I also don't need a husband like you, so we're getting divorced.
Huh? Divorce? What are you going on about all of a sudden? Going from a conversation about this mere child all the way to divorce? I can't believe it.
Anyone who can't treat this mere child as an important part of their life is not someone I care to be married to. Well, however, aren't you happy about this outcome? You were the one who said I have to raise the kid all by myself, right?
It's not like I was going out and having an affair or anything. Whether or not the kid is born isn't an issue, but if we get divorced, that is going to put us in both a really tight spot. Not just that, but you have no good reason to divorce me, just because I wasn't happy you got pregnant.
I am watching out for the child and making sure they get what's best for them. Is that not enough of a reason? Besides, between being a wife and being a mother, I deemed being a mother more important to me. Therefore, why would I be with someone who doesn't care for my child at all?
You don't get it, do you? You do know having a short temper is bad for you, right? I know my mom told you that. If I'm out of the picture, you aren't going to be able to support the child at all, huh? You and your part-time job might barely be able to afford anything more than rent. That would be all.
I'm not worried about any of that. My parents know what kind of situation I am in, and they are lending all the support they can because they too want to see my child grow. Not only that, but your father is actually pretty excited about having a grandchild as well, so I'm sure he will also help where he can. So, with all of that in mind, I don't see any cause for concern.
Sure, we disagree on the child, but you and I get along just fine apart from that. I still don't see why this needs to end in divorce. Even now, I still adore you with my entire heart, and I appreciate you to no end. You still love me too, right? If we both share the same feelings towards each other, then I believe there to be no reason we should get divorced. Otherwise, I think you would regret it.
Honestly, I feel nothing toward you anymore, so I am more than okay with getting a divorce. Not just that, but if I were to live with someone who could not love our child, I would never be able to be happy in life. As a mother, it's my responsibility to look out for the happiness of my child and make sure that they are healthy. If the father never wanted my child around, or even born for that matter, I don't know how long I'd keep them around.
So you're saying that you're serious about the divorce. Well, what if I don't want to do anything to get a divorce?
Well, we will let the courts decide then. For my child's happiness, I will do whatever I can to ensure it. Therefore, you should start getting prepared. I will show you the strength of a mother who wants to protect her child. After all that, Matthew fought tooth and nail to not get divorced. Not only did it not succeed, but the court decided he had to pay child support. Unfortunately for Matthew, he did really love me. So after the divorce finalized, he became really depressed and stopped working. I had to quit my job as well, and I ended up deciding to move back in with my family for a little while. After a while, Matthew couldn't pay his alimony or any of his other bills, so his father stepped in and paid, saying he'll do his utmost to help out. After some time passed, I ended up giving birth to a beautiful baby girl. Right now, I'm living with my parents. With their help taking care of my daughter, I was able to start working again at a nursery. Although every day is busy, it's all packed with fun. I'm not entirely sure how my daughter will be when she's fully grown, but I will do my very best to try and ensure that she doesn't grow up to be anything like her biological father. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more. See you next time!